All right, so welcome to the third night of Back to Basics. We are going to be first muting everybody. Mute all. Okay, now that that's done, we are going to be talking about recruiting, leadership skills, and the importance of being paid at title. Now, a lot of you who are new, you guys are probably like, what is paid at title? Well, we are going to get into that. But first, you have to recruit in order to grow, in order to get paid at title. So a little bit about me. I did not get my very first recruit, team member, whatever you want to call them, until I was 4 months in. So if you are brand new on here, have patience because it takes time, it takes trust. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I feel that if you want to make this a career, a legitimate career, you need to grow your team wide and you need to grow your team deep. And by doing that, it starts with you. It starts with you opening up your mouth and talking to people about the opportunity of Scentsy. It used to be about, when I first started, it used to be about I wanted a paycheck. I'm not going to lie. That was one of the reasons why I started. But as I really figured out how Scentsy was and how the company ran, and my team started growing, I started realizing that it was much bigger than me. It was much bigger than a paycheck. It was much bigger than a title. This was about changing lives. And I quickly realized that the people that are joining my team, it cannot be about me when it comes to recruiting or sponsoring or whatever you want to call it. It is only about that person. So if you are in a position where you're like, Chelsea, I'm ready to grow my team. Okay. Well, first and foremost, if you want to grow your team, you need to make sure that you have the PRV like solid. Like that needs to be 500 PRV a month to hit that lead title, right? That's what we're trying to work towards. So make sure that your PRV is solid because you cannot let your business fall while you're recruiting, okay? You have to have the PRV in order to continuously recruit and grow and grow. So first, make sure that your PRV is solid. Second, when you have these joint conversations, you need to listen. Listen to these people. Again, it is not about you. It has absolutely nothing to do with you when it comes to having people join your team. It's only about them and why they want to join and how Scentsy can bless them. That is our goal. Because at the end of the day, titles don't mean crap in this business. You may look at me and you may be like, oh my God, she's a superstar director. Guess what? I'm also a human and a mom and a wife and all these things. And my title doesn't pay my bills. My title doesn't. My work ethic does. And the way that I talk to people and the way that I continuously want to change lives because it's more than me. So when you're talking to these people, you need to be quiet and you need to listen and you need to figure out how Scentsy can bless their life. One of my newest team members, I'm not going to call her out, but her reason was she had to leave her job because she helps out a family member who she takes care of. And so as the second I knew that that was her why, that was one of her biggest reasons that she was joining, because she had to put her wedding on the back burner because of everything that happened with her having to leave her job and COVID and all of that. So you know what? I said, okay, that's going to be your why. That's going to be what gets you out of bed every single day. That's going to be the reason that you work. That's going to be the reason why you show up. And guess what? Her very first paycheck was well over $600 last month. I think it was last month. Yes. So when you figure out their why, that's how you can best serve them as a leader, as a sponsor, as a mentor, because you can actually figure out how Scentsy can work in their life. Now, with her being a mom, a brand new mom, well, not brand new mom, she has a baby at home with 2 older kids. She's out doing all the things. So when's the best time she can work her business? We had to figure that out. And that's what you need to sit down and work with those potential team members. Now, you're probably like, Chelsea, where do I even find these team members? It's outside. It's out of a computer screen and it's out in the world. Simply by just talking to people. Simply by just saying, hey, if you see people in the candle aisle in Target or Walmart. Just going up and saying, hey, have you ever tried Scentsy? And if they say no, be like, listen, I got a sample, like free, nothing, just try it. Or have a conversation and compliment somebody. That's a conversation starter. When you are in line at the grocery store, and if you see somebody that has their hair done and looks really good, or has some bomb shoes, you look at them and you say, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. Where did you get that? You know, you need to build the relationships with these people without any expectations of them ever buying or joining from you. You guys have heard me say that majority of you guys have heard me say that over and over and over again, because it all starts with the relationships. The people that joined my team, they didn't just join because they saw me on the Scentsy.com website. No, I think that's like once every blue moon that's ever happened to me. The people that have joined me are the people who have watched my journey and who have consistently seen me show up every single day. They see me sharing these trainings that we do. They see me sharing what I'm sending my customers. They see me sharing the trips that I've earned, the paychecks that I've earned, how our life is completely different. That's what they're seeing. They're seeing real life. They're not seeing a flyer on the computer. They're not seeing me walking out saying, oh my gosh, you should join Scentsy because X, Y, and Z, or because I'm trying to earn a trip. No, that is tacky. I have people from other direct sales companies who spam me in my messages. And they're like, hey, because you're so good at Scentsy, you should do this and this and this and this and this with us. And this is our comp plan. And I say, listen, Linda, I am not going to jump ship because I'm deeply rooted in my business and I'm not moving. Don't do that to people. Don't message them, cold message them and say, hey, Cindy, I don't know whatever their names are. This is why you should join Scentsy, X, Y, and Z, and this is our comp plan, and I'm trying to earn a trip. Guys, that is the biggest pet peeve of mine of when people cold message. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need to build the relationships with these people. You need to figure out, first off, do they even like Scentsy? Because if they don't like Scentsy, if they never tried it, you need to get it in their hands immediately. Have them have the true Scentsy experience. And then figure out, hey, you know, you buy this all the time. Why don't you just get paid off of it? There is nothing wrong with simply saying, hey, why don't you just join for a discount? And that discount is your paycheck, meaning you could pay full price next month, but then on this month's paycheck, you are going to get that discount. That's where that discount comes from. Or you got your host rewards. There's nothing wrong with that. We love our hobbyists every 4 months. We love them. But the people that really want to make it serious, you need to get serious with them and say, listen, you want to make this a real career, a real business, then we need to figure out a plan to make it a real business. We need to start making a real plan. And by doing that is you just need to sit down and figure out their why. So my best tips for recruiting, talk to people off the computer. Get out there in the world, get involved. Get involved. That is what I did for the many times that we moved over the last 10 years with the Marine Corps, was because I got out there and I got involved. That's what built my business. Not because I was sitting behind a computer screen or my phone. No, it was because I was out there doing stuff. I was getting involved. I was being a person of society, a good person of society. But that's what built my business, was relationships. And that's still what's building my business. People follow me on social media. People follow me on Instagram. They see real life. They see the good, the bad, the ugly of me. And you guys don't have to do that. You guys don't have to do what I'm doing. I just encourage you to show real things. Share your life, how Scentsy is changing your life. If you're new, you can still share how Scentsy is changing your life. Simply because you get to work from home. You get to have products that your kids can play with and eat if they want. It's not going to hurt them. You have the ability, you have an opportunity in the palm of your hands to tell everybody about. Listen, you love Scentsy? Why don't you join for a discount? Why don't you join and get paid off your own products? Half of the people don't even realize we get paid off our own products. The second you buy a bar, hello, you're going to get paid off that on payday. And if you're so nervous about recruiting, if you're nervous about going out and talking to people, Practice with your sponsor. Practice with your spouse. And honestly, I know it's really uncomfortable to talk to people, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in this business or you are not going to grow. You guys probably saw my post the other day about either repeating or evolving. If you want to grow in this business, you have to evolve. If not, you're just going to sit there and repeat over the same thing. And guess what happens? You're going to sit in the same spot that you're in now. And people who usually stall in their business, they get better and then they quit. And then they blame everybody else. But really, it all starts with you. You are in the driver's seat of your own business. So you can either evolve, drive down the road that's evolving, or you can drive down the road that's repeating. But you have to start sharing you through your business. You have to. It may feel like I'm going X, Y, and Z all over the place right now, but I have so much to share in such a small amount of time. So get out and talk to people, build relationships. I bet you can ask all of my brand new team members that have joined in the last 2 months. We had relationships before they ever joined. I knew them because they were either my customers or they saw me on social media and we built the relationships and we became friends and I knew what was going on in their life. So start there. Start by relationships. And then Scentsy will eventually come into play. Eventually. If it doesn't, offer the opportunity. So there's my tips for recruiting. And then leadership will come. Leadership skills will eventually come because if you work with them and you show them what you're doing, guess what? That's a leadership skill. If you simply say, hey, this is what I've tried and it works, let's see if it works for you. That's leadership. That's you just mentoring. You're not going to be a perfect leader. There is no perfect leader in this business. Don't ever, ever, ever think you have to be perfect. I mess up daily. All my people that I text all the time, they know I'm a hot mess and it's okay. It is okay. I used to think when I hit director that I had to be perfect. No, ma'am. I was, oh gosh, that was awful to think. You're not going to be perfect in this business. And I don't want y'all to be perfect. I want you guys to be a mess. I want y'all to fail. I want you to fail in this business so you can fail forward. I want you to fail at trying things. I want you guys to go out and get told no. Because in order, again, to grow, you have to be told no. You have to fail. You're not always going to win all the games, right? That's how I used to look at it when I played softball. My dad was he was my coach for so many years. And I always used to think, hey, we always have to win. We always have to win. But you know what? I became more humbled when we lost. So that's how you're going to become humbled in your business is when you fail at things and you fail forward and you learn from it and you move on. So leadership, you don't have to be perfect. That's an ever evolving thing. Trust me. So don't think because you're new, you can't be a leader because you can. It's simply just showing somebody what you're doing and hoping that it works for them. That is it. Now, paid at title. This is a huge thing. I kind of already talked about it real quick when I said your title is not going to bring you your paycheck. Your work ethic is. Don't work towards just a title. So if you are working towards lead, don't work just towards lead. Work beyond that. Why is the reason you want to hit lead? Is it because you could get your leadership bonuses? So that's extra money in your pocket every month when you hit paid at title. Because if you do not hit your title requirements, you do not get those leadership bonuses, baby. That is huge. So if your reason is you want to make this a full-time career and you want to retire your husband or be at home with your babies or pay off your debt or just treat yourself, go get your hair done, your nails done, or just go get coffee. If that's your reason, fine, but it cannot be about that title. Because again, that title is not going to pay your bills. That title is not going to get you to the next level of your life. No. It's just a title. Just a pretty title that they put on your lanyards and stuff for SFR or on our workstation or your website. That is it. Your customers don't give two craps about your title. No. If they didn't show my title ever again, that would be totally fine with me. You can ask some of our leaders that hang out with me at SFR. I don't wear my lanyard because I don't like that kind of attention. I want my work to speak for me, not my title. So make sure that if you are working towards a title, it cannot be about just that title. It has to be beyond that. Now, why is it so important to get paid at title? Because you can get incentive points. You can, if you become a director, when all y'all become a director, because I believe all of you guys have the ability, you get consistency points. You get 3-month and 6-month consistency points for being paid at title. And that is for certain things, leadership, and then you get, I forget what the other one is, whatever. Either way, you get consistency points. Hold on, where did my face? There it goes. And that just shows that you are working towards something amazing and great, and that's consistency. And if you're not getting paid at title, in my mind, you are not growing. That means your business has stalled because you're not recruiting. That means that you're not talking to enough people. If your PRV and your recruiting is down, it's because you are not out there talking to enough people. I used to sell myself short and say, hey, I'm just going to be a great recruiter and I'm not going to be a good PRV person. I used to tell myself that. I used to tell myself I wasn't a good PRV seller, which is why I never hit annual sales award. And that's an annual award that all and every one of you can earn. I used to tell myself I wasn't a good PRV person, and I never hit annual sales until this year. Guys, I'm going on my 8th year with Scentsy. I hit annual mentor 3 times, but that was because I was so hyper-focused on growing my team wide and deep. And because I did that, now I have a front line of almost 100 and a team of well over 250 people and a group of almost 2,250. I don't even know anymore, but that's not the point. The point is I never stopped. I never stopped. And I wish I would have stopped telling myself those lies about my PRV back in the day, because I could have easily got annual sales and annual mentor. But you know what? It's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. You know what I did? I changed my mindset and I got annual sales this year. I made it a goal and I said, you know what? I'm done lying to myself. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make annual sales happen. I'm going to make annual sales or annual mentor happen this year. It's all in your mind. The only person stopping you from growing your team and growing your PRV is you, honey. That is it. So I am up on my about 20 minutes and I could go on for hours with this topic. So my best tips, get out there and talk to people, build those relationships, do it for more than just the title, because your title is not going to pay your bills, and believe that you can do it. And it takes time, and it takes consistency, and it takes patience. Just show up every day for you, not for anybody else, but for you. That's all I have, and I'm going to pass it over to Morgan.
Who's after me, just so I know who to pass it to?
Stephanie.
Hey, that's right. I couldn't quite remember. Sorry, Stephanie. All right. Oh, my God, you just lit a fire under my ass. I'm so freaking excited. Oh my God, it's like getting pepped up to like walk into a game. You just like threw me into the court. I'm super excited. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Morgan Kiefer. I am the STAR Director of Team Warriors. And I've been doing it for 1.5 years. And this is my favorite topic in the entire freaking universe. I love this topic. It is something that I'm super passionate about. And I'm going to start somewhere. First of all, side note, I love what Chelsea said about get off the screen, get off the phone, go make real relationships. That's something that I've been working on lately, and my screen time has gone down 20%. It went from like 9 hours a day to 5 hours a day, and I'm super excited about that because, you guys, it's so, and I have 4 recruits so far this month because of it, because I've taken my screen time down from 9 hours to 5 hours. I have 4 more recruits because I'm out there making personal relationships and talking to people. So I just wanted to piggyback off that really quick and just put an exclamation and super serious, like that is so important note on that before I dive into what I have to say. So I'm going to start with leadership and where I think that leadership comes from. I think that, and if you are on my team, you're going to know that I preach that everything you do in your life and how you live your life is how your business is going to reflect. How you live your life is how your business is going to run. Okay? It's just a fact, you guys, because we're in that type of industry. We're in a networking industry, you guys. So if you are someone that is positive, that is happy, that is a go-getter, that is vulnerable, that is real, that is you, that's going to reflect into your business, and that's going to attract people into your business. If you're someone that is making excuses in your life, if you're someone that is negative, that is just a Debbie Downer, that's going to reflect into your business too. So if you're someone that struggles like outside of your business, just in your life, make sure that you're focusing on working on yourself, because that's going to reflect on your business. Sometimes you have to fix yourself before you can actually run your business super successful. And the cool part is it can be done together. The thing that I love most about this business, for those of you that don't know my story, I had no intentions of making this like a full-time career. I didn't know I needed Scentsy, which is a really cool thing when I talk about recruiting. I'm going to get into that. But I didn't know that Scentsy was going to make me a better person and make my life so much better. I had no idea. But that's because Scentsy introduced me to all these phenomenal people and building relationships. And when I started building on myself and working on myself, it incorporated that into my business started booming, you guys. So make sure to take a good look in the mirror and make sure that you're focusing on yourself and making yourself the best version that you can be, because that's going to instantly reflect into your business, no matter what. As far as leadership goes and what I think makes a good leader, first of all, you can't expect anyone to do something you're not doing. Again, it's going to come back to you. Chelsea just preached it for 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure she said you at least 100 times. It's going to come back to you. Everything starts with you. You cannot expect anyone that joins your team to do something that you aren't doing. You can't. I mean, you just can't. You can't. You cannot do that, okay? You have to lead from the front. I'm sure you guys have heard that multiple times. What does that mean? What does that mean? Leading from the front means focusing on yourself, focusing on growing that PRV, focusing on recruiting, focusing on building those relationships. Because when you do that stuff naturally, guess what, you guys? Your team is going to start growing, and they're going to start watching how you do things, and it's a snowball effect. They're going to learn from you. I have a girl on here that I don't know if she's on here right now. I'm not going to say her name, but she reinstated, and she reinstated, had 0 PRV when she reinstated. 3 months later, she hit director. I said, what the hell? How the hell did you do that? She was my customer for like a year. And she's like, I've been watching you for a whole year, Morgan. I just did exactly what you did, but faster. She didn't say that, but she did. She did it twice as fast as I. I think I hit director in 6 months, and she hit it in like 3 months when she reinstated. So, and that spoke volumes to me, what she said. She said, I watched you for a year. I watched you for an entire year before I decided to finally reinstate. And then I just applied what you did in your business, in your life, to my business, and that's how it grew and how it worked. So that's a perfect example of leading from the front. People underneath you, they're going to watch you. They're going to watch you, and they're going to learn from you, okay? Now, not everybody will. And I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. You're going to have negative Nancy's on your team. You can't avoid it, especially once your team starts growing super big. You can't. Not everyone is going to watch what you do and follow what you do and learn from you, okay? They're not. And that's okay. That's okay too. The coolest part about this business is that it's your business. If you have negative Nancy's that are underneath you, my biggest piece of advice, bye Felicia, say bye. Lock them out of your life. Guess what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't dictate your business, okay? This is our business. Someone that's your sponsor, someone that's your director. We're not your managers. We're not your boss, you guys. We don't dictate your business. You dictate your business. You, look at that. I'm saying it again. You dictate your business. If you don't like your sponsor, that's fine. Block her and go on with your merry life, you guys. It's okay. Stay in your own lane. Oh my God, my team's already rolling their eyes. Here we go. They're already rolling their eyes. She's going to talk about staying in your own lane again. I preach this with my team daily. Stay in your lane, okay? When you focus on yourself, you're going to get to the places that you want to go. And it doesn't matter if you're moving faster or slower than Sally, okay? Because I don't know if you guys ran track. Here we go. Another running metaphor. My team's probably rolling their eyes again. If you're a track runner, or if you know anything about track, your coach will scream at you if you look behind, if you're in first place or whatever, if you're ahead of the pack, or even if you run cross country, if you're ahead of the pack and you look back, guess what happens? You cut time off your second, or you cut seconds off your time. I said that backwards. You cut seconds off your time. It's detrimental in track because seconds, milliseconds matter in track. What the saying, stay in your lane, means is that when you look back and look at what other people are doing and in their life and their business, and you compare yourself to them, you're taking a little chunk of your, not only your pace forward, but you're taking a chunk of your confidence away too. Subconsciously, maybe even. You're taking that like confidence away slowly. Every time you look back, every time you look into someone else's lane, you're taking your confidence away. You're taking a part of who you are away because you're comparing yourself to someone else. It doesn't matter how fast you get from point A to point B, as long as you're going forward, as long as, like what Chelsea said, you're failing forward. Who cares if you try and fail? I try and fail every single day at something, you guys, but guess what? I get back up and I take a step forward again. As long as you're moving forward, you're gonna get to where you wanna go. And it's okay if it's at your own pace. Like I said, you don't have to be as fast as Sally is. You go at your own pace, okay? That's what I think being a leadership is. And that's where when I am recruiting people and I see what my biggest red flag for like, this girl's got it, like this girl's gonna go places, is because she focuses on herself. She focuses on her business. And here's another key component. She wants to lift others with her. Okay. She wants to lift others with her. For those of you that don't know my journey, I joined to make a couple quick $100. That's the only reason I joined. And then I realized a few months in that I used to be a cheerleading coach. A small hole in my heart started filling up that I didn't know existed because I was helping others in their business and their life. And as I was helping them reach their goals, I was reaching my goals, and it felt good. It feels good to rise with people. Okay, it feels so much better when you guys work together and you rise together and you do things with a good intention to help other people. Because like Chelsea just said, we're here to change lives. We're here to change lives and give people opportunity, even if it's just put a tank of gas. You guys, that tank of gas could mean the world to somebody. You don't know that. I guess I could go into recruiting now. Recruiting. My biggest thing with recruiting is I get asked constantly, where do you get these awesome teammates, like these powerhouses? You just continuously are bringing powerhouses into your team. I'm going to talk about something that's called the direct sales cycle. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I just make it up in my head. Maybe it is a real thing. I don't know. But I get my powerhouse teammates from my customers, you guys, from my customers that already love the product. Because how much easier is it to share something you love? If you share something you love, it just naturally, you spread that energy. You spread sharing something you love, something that excites you. People feed off that energy. So I look for my best customers and I will nag the crap out. I don't really nag them, you guys, but I'll put that little thought in their mind. Like, you might as well just join just to save, the money, because like, look at how much you're spending. Like Chelsea said, look how much you're spending. Might as well just join just for the discounts. Little do they know, when they join, they end up falling in love with it because it's so easy for them. I have another girl that's a director under me. Not the first one I mentioned, but the other one I mentioned. She was someone who joined for the discounts. She hit director in 6 months because she loved Scentsy so much, and I finally convinced her to join for the discounts. And it was so easy for her to just share something she already loved. So that's where I get my badass recruits. That's where I get them, my best customers. Well, then my person goes, well, aren't you scared of losing your best customers? No, because then I gain the best teammates and then we're all rising together. Like, no, because guess what? Customers can be replaced, you guys. Customers can be replaced. Here's the direct sales cycle I was talking about. You join, you get customers, you get those customers on your team. You go out and find new customers. You get those customers to join your team. It's a circle and it keeps going. And the more you go around in circles, the bigger your team is going to grow and the bigger you're just going to be better, bigger and better. So that's my biggest piece of advice with recruiting. Paid at title goes hand in hand with leadership, right? Paid at title goes hand in hand with leadership. It's something that should be required. Once you hit lead and above, that should be the first thing on your goals list for the month. I have at least 2 to 6 goals a month, but the first thing is paid at title. It is so important because it shows that you're leading from the front. That's why, I mean, everything Chelsea said, yes. I'm not going to repeat what she said because it was so important for everything else. But most importantly to me, the importance that paid at title to me is because it shows that I am leading from the front. Okay? Because again, you can't expect your teammates to do stuff that you aren't doing. And I want to talk about work ethic. You guys, Chelsea talked about it. It's not luck, okay? And if you're new, welcome. First of all, if you're new, you're probably like, who the hell is this girl? But you guys, welcome. I'm here to tell you, nothing is easy. Nothing is going to be a quick buck, okay? I hate when people join direct sales and they're like, oh my God, wait, I was that person. You guys, I was that person that joined to make a quick buck. Okay, but you guys, I didn't expect to make more than a couple $100, okay? Let me sidetrack that really quick, okay? I hate when people join and they think that they're gonna make like $5,000 in a month overnight. No, that's not how direct sales works, and that's not how any business works, you guys. That is not how any business works, okay? It takes work. You have to put your head down and work. Where you are in this business is determined on your work ethic. Bottom line. Absolute bottom line. I felt like there was a million other things I wanted to talk about. I should look at my sticky notes really quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. I can't even read my notes. Stay in your own lane. Best teammates. No quick buck. What does that say? Never... Oh yeah. Okay. One last thing about recruiting. Never assume that anyone doesn't need Cincy. Okay. Because I was someone that didn't know that I needed Cincy, but I knew that the opportunity was there at the time. My consultant at the time when I was a customer put the idea in my head. She did. And if she had never done that, I probably would have never joined. I didn't think I needed Cincy. My husband got injured, and then it was there. Again, joined to make a couple $100 quick bucks, changed my life. So never assume that nobody needs it. I don't ever oh God, it's not selfish, but it kind of is selfish when you don't offer the opportunity, especially to almost every single one of your customers. Every single one of your customers, even if it's just for the discount. And then even if they say no, hello, that's totally okay. I get told no all the time. If you're not getting told no, you're not doing your job right, okay? If you get told no, like I told my consultant at the time, I told her no, the thought is still there. And it might come back around, even if it's a year later. I think I sat a whole year before I joined. I sat a year on joining, you guys. And it only took me a year and a half to be a star director. Think about it. Just think about it. Stephanie, I'm going to pass it to you.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow you. Look, I'm comparing myself. I shouldn't be doing that.
Focus on your notes. I know you have notes, not like mine.
I know, I'm such a notes person. I'm so sorry. I wish I'm comparing. I don't know what my problem is today. All right, so I'm Stephanie Barber, director of Make Consent Happen Tribe for all of you out there. So I think that I want to start talking about recruiting first because I feel like in the first year of my business, that was my jam. Like recruiting was it. And I still feel okay with it, but I don't know. I liked recruiting. So I think though that I do it a little bit differently, or maybe what I say may be a little bit different. You're going to hear a lot of the same stuff that Chelsea and Morgan also said, but that I feel like attraction marketing is huge. Like I've just now really recently, I don't know, I guess I'm not like 100% comfortable talking in person with people. And I have recently, and I think it's helping me as an individual too. But I've definitely worked 90% of my business on social networking. So you just want to show how you're living your life and what Scentsy doing for you. And not just be a billboard. Like, you need to be authentic with it. You need to show them what Scentsy actually doing. One big thing is that if somebody were to go to your Facebook or Instagram and they can't tell that you're a Scentsy consultant, that's an issue. Like, that is an issue. You need to be able to at least tell, not with flyers, but that Scentsy doing something or that you're using the products. If you aren't doing that, then you can't expect people to join you, or like I think Morgan said, but like, follow in your footsteps. She had somebody become a director because they watched her. And if you're not doing things that you want your team to do, you can't expect them to do it. Here's one that I think is huge. Do not think that you have to go out and recruit, because not saying that you shouldn't, but if you're not ready to, then don't do it. Like, that is one of my biggest pieces of advice, is that you have to be willing to put in the work. Do not just go out and recruit people and then let them flop all over the place. If you're not ready, that's totally fine. And if you share it with somebody and they want to join and you're still not ready, then talk to your sponsor or somebody else, because taking that on is a responsibility. And it should be, because you're going, once you start leveling up and hitting lead and star, you're going to be paid on your team, not off your team, on your team. So you need to be able to put in the work. So don't think that it's just a quick buck, like Morgan said. It's not. It's going to take work, but it's totally worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. And just I think that it'll help you as a person too, knowing that you're helping somebody else. That is the best feeling ever, when somebody promotes underneath you. All right, so leadership, I just have a basic couple of things, but again, they've already been said. But be the leader that you want to have. So you're not sure what a leader is, be the person that either your sponsor or leader was, or maybe if they weren't, then do what you think that should have happened. Be that person. And don't ever ask your team to do something that you wouldn't or couldn't do. You need to be a good example. And then paid at title is huge. It is a big deal. Not to brag or anything, but I just think that, like, when you can say that you've consistently been paid at title, that's a big deal. And it makes, like, you know that you're doing something right, and you know that you're busting your ass. Like, you're trying and you're wanting it. So you want to be continuously growing. Just because, okay, so say you hit lead, that should be your number one goal, is to be paid at title. But beyond that, on your list of goals for the month, star needs to be written on there. You need to constantly want to be growing. So being paid at title shouldn't be an issue at that point, because your main focus is hitting star. And if you don't hit that goal, that's fine, because you know that you were at least paid at title. Yeah, so speaking of goals, being paid at title, the goals are huge. I've said it a million times, but you have to have them written down somewhere where you're going to see them. You have to. If you're just out there working and you don't have goals written down that you're looking at, you're working and just aimlessly, and you don't know what you're working for. I guess that's probably it. So basically, just be the best version of yourself that you can be. You're going to attract the right people. You're going to be a better person in general. You're going to be happier. And then your team, they will follow suit. So that is all. And I didn't ask who is after me. I'm sorry. I can't introduce. Hold on. I have a picture here of who is going
me.
next. Oh,
it's
okay.
Kelly. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow all three of you, because I feel like every single thing that I have written down, you guys have already said. And unlike Morgan and her little sticky notes and like her just like winning personality, I have like a 4-page essay here. I'm not a very good note taker. I'm more of like a essay writer. So bear with me because now I have to kind of look through and see what the hell I should be saying since everyone said a lot of what I have written down. But my name is Kelly Baker and I am the STAR Director of Sense Education. I am going to start with recruiting, and I know Chelsea touched on this, but the first thing that I have here is do not be spammy. So what I mean by that is nobody wants to see your flyers. Everybody wants to see you using the products. I don't care if you're selling, if you're trying to sell products or if you're trying to recruit. No matter what, don't be spammy. And like Morgan said, it's the next thing I have written down. We share, we don't sell. So when I was asked to join Scentsy, my number one excuse was I am not a salesy person. I used to work for Nationwide Insurance and I absolutely hated it because I was way too honest. And that wasn't good when you're trying to sell insurance. And now when I do recruit and people say to me, well, I'm not a salesy person, like I just don't think I would do well, I actually always respond with, well, thank God, because we don't sell shit here. We share. So don't be a salesy person. You do not need to sell anything. We don't sell, we share. Always share. Share why you love the products. Share what this business has done for you and your family. When I joined this company, I 100% did not join to sell Scentsy. I joined for a discount. And my husband will tell you that he did not think that I would ever make anything of myself with Scentsy. He will tell you that straight up. He never thought that. He thought I would buy a few warmers and get a discount and that was it. This business has completely changed my life in like, it blows me away. Like I still can't believe like what has happened in the last 4 years. So, and then also, make sure you are, and I think Chelsea talked about this as well, make sure you are sharing why it's going to benefit them. Nobody gives a shit if it's going to help you earn an incentive. I mean, somebody might. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are people that join just to help a family member out or this and that. I'm sure it happens more often than we would think. But for the most part, people aren't going to join your team to help you hit an incentive or to help you promote. They're going to join because it will help them in some way. So like Chelsea and Morgan both said, build relationships, figure out why this business will help them. That's how you're going to get them to join your team. And that's how you're going to get them to actually work their business as well. I also will say that recruiting wise, I think that majority of my recruits have either A, been my best customers, or B, shown interest to me first. I don't usually go out there and like, I don't do any kind of cold messaging at all. That's not me. I don't do it. I don't like doing it. I don't like speaking in front of people, let alone sending people some awkward message about joining my team. I don't do that. If somebody tells me that they're interested or just even asks me one question at that point, then I'll reach out to them. You know, if there's a special or something like that, at that point I'll message them. But for the most part, I do not message people. Other than, like I said, if it's like my best customer, before they place an order, I might say, hey, you know, I noticed that you've been ordering a lot. I know you clearly love the products. You know, it would benefit you to join and get, you know, earn commission off of your orders instead. I might do that, or I should say I do that. And I also do try to offer the host to join, the earn a kit as well. I've never offered the flip a party, to be completely honest. Well, I shouldn't say I've never offered it. I have offered it, but I've never had anyone take me up on the flip a party. I usually honestly convince them beforehand or convince them to host to join. But again, that's just me. Everyone is different. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. And also sorry, let me just read this really quick. Okay, don't be afraid to recruit, guys. I don't care if you've been a consultant for 1 week or 5 years, you can start recruiting at any time. I had people, I don't remember, honestly, I should have went back and looked, but I don't remember how quick it was, but it was definitely within like the first 4 months, I had people that wanted to join my team. And I put in the work, so it worked out for me. I led them. And like Stephanie said, obviously, if you aren't willing to put in the work, then I do agree with that to an extent, because yes, sometimes people can change as people join. So I can kind of see that, like if somebody joins your team and you're not really sure, but then they join and you know what, it might work out really well for you. But then sometimes people have people join under them and then it ends up rolling up to that person's sponsor or that person's director. And those people are doing all of the work for all of these other people's recruits. And it really isn't fair, because that's your recruit and that becomes your responsibility. You should be leading them at that point. And it's okay that you're a week in and you don't know everything. That's okay. That's what we are here for. That's what your director is here for and your sponsor is here for. We are here for that, but we are not here to do your job for you either. So I definitely agree with that with Stephanie. And now I'm going to go into leadership because everything else that I have written down is literally been covered. And I think honestly, most of my leadership was covered as well. But the one quote that I had written down was, and I know a couple other leaders have used this quote as well before, but build a team so strong that you don't know who the leader is. This is so important and something that I struggle with my business, because most of my leaders have now promoted to director. So now I am trying to find new leaders, new upcoming leaders that want to be leaders. And I am struggling with that. I have no problem admitting my faults and what I struggle with. But now that you have a recruit, what do? Easy. You tell them all of the things that you didn't know when you first started. All the questions you had, answer them. Don't overwhelm them. Just give them, the simple things that they need to start their business, because it can be very overwhelming. The workstation can be overwhelming. It can all be overwhelming. And when you're recruiting, like when we have specials and you're recruiting 4 or 5 people in a month, it can be very overwhelming for you as well, but it will be worth it. So make sure you're just answering their questions. I don't care if it's your first recruit or your 100th recruit, it's always the same. Start off the same way. And this, I don't know where it is, this amazing checklist that Lindsay and Chelsea came up with. It's the new consultant checklist. I know it's under the Simple Systems on SLS, is amazing and is going to benefit me so much, because I have such a hard time keeping track of all of the things. So use these, guys, use this checklist, write their names down, and then it's so much easier than going on the workstation and looking back and saying, oh shit, I missed this person's shooting star day. And then, you obviously feel terrible because you're their sponsor and you're supposed to be keeping track of that and helping them keep track of those things. Yes, it's on the homepage, but not everybody in the beginning logs in every single day. Cheer them on. Okay. So in most businesses, you don't get cheered on. You don't get shout outs. And this is so important with Scentsy. We are such an amazing support system. And I think that it's like, it pushes people to do better when they're being shouted out and when they're being rooted on. Everybody loves to be praised. Who doesn't love to be praised? Praise them. Tell people how great they're doing. Even the small goals, even if it's just you're active this month, that's amazing. Like, good for them. Shout them out, cheer them on. I said, sorry guys, I'm kind of like looking through everything. Okay, so identify your leaders. Those who want to put the work in are the ones that you need to be spending most of your time on. I know this is hard. I have a really hard time with this because I try really hard to like spend my time equally on everyone, but the ones who are just putting an order in every 4 months, they don't need all of the help. They don't need all, you telling them this is what you need to do. And this is, they don't need you to be rooting them on all the way, because they're putting an order in every 4 months, and that's okay. That everybody's business is different. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. It is their business. But the ones who want to lead are the ones you need to focus on. And I have struggled with this for a long time, because I try to just do all of the things for everybody, and you can't do that. You will run yourself dry. Chelsea can tell you, I still do this. I just called her 2 nights ago, sobbing like a lunatic, because I get myself so overwhelmed by trying to do all of the things. I have 3 kids. My husband works out of the home. He is gone for days at a time. And I just, and when he is home, he's working side jobs. So I'm just like, oh my God, like what, like, I don't even know what to do with myself at this point. Like, I've gotten myself so overwhelmed that I don't even know where to start. It happens. Chelsea tells me all the time, just breathe, just breathe. So just breathe, guys. It'll make it all better if you just breathe and drink a beer like I'm doing. Let's see. And identifying your leaders will also take some off of your plate as well, which again is huge. As you continue to grow your team, you're going to need other people to assist you, even if it's just posting things on your team page when things come on the news tab. You know, I don't have 12 hours in a day to sit on my phone and watch the news tab. I'm a busy person. We are always busy. We're always running around. I literally spent, I don't even know, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. the other day in the car with my 3 kids delivering orders, one of which is a 1-year-old boy who is extremely hard. So I don't have time to just sit on my phone and wait for things to pop up on the news tab. So identifying your leaders, building leaders is going to seriously help you in the long run. Start it early, because if you wait, you are going to be overwhelmed as hell, like me. So don't do it. Paid a title. So this is honestly why I signed up for this topic. And this part, I'm definitely going to look at my notes because I have like dates and all of that written here. So I struggled big time with this in the last 1.5 years. And if you're a lead consultant or above, every month you have to have 500 PRV, a certain number of required frontline active, and a certain required GWV, group wholesale volume. So depending on your title, whether you're lead, star, superstar consultant, director, star director, or superstar director, these numbers will all vary. You can look it up. You can Google it on the commission charts on the workstation. It's been posted 1 million times in the Scent Love and Stars page. You can find it all in there. But I just wanted to throw that out there. A little background. So I joined in January of 2016. And fast forward a little, I promoted to director in September of 2017. When I promoted to director, I had an extremely strong team. With that being said, there was only 2 months out of 15 months that I was not paid in title. So we didn't have that problem. And I watched other people, other directors struggle with getting paid at title. And I was like, wow, like our team is just amazing, you know? Well, fast forward again to October 2018, and we were promoted to star director with a team of 74. At this time, I will be completely honest with you, completely transparent. I was not thrilled. I was, as Morgan said earlier, I was so thrilled for my directors. Do not get me wrong. I could not have been more happy for them. But I was absolutely terrified that, like, with getting paid at title, that I wasn't going to be able to get paid at title. And I was right. I was 100% right. Those 3 leaders that promoted that month, they made up my team. I then lost my team at that point for the most part, because they were my team. So I was also going through some personal stuff at this time. I had just found out that I was pregnant with my 3rd wonderful, beautiful baby, but my husband had also just had a vasectomy. So we were not planning on having any more children. So I was very content with the fact that we were just going to have 2, and we were all done. It had taken me a long time to be content with that. And then he had the vasectomy, and I found out 2 weeks later that I was already pregnant. So I was like seriously struggling with that as well, and feeling super guilty for struggling with that. Furthermore, Lisa knows, because I was an absolute mess. I felt totally prepared in every possible way. I actually made a post on I don't know if any of you leaders saw it today, but I made a post asking how many star directors promoted to, how many star directors promoted to star director without, as a director, being able to go to director boot camp? Because I kept saying to Justin when I promoted, like, oh my God, like I can't be a star director. I never went to director boot camp. Like that really identified like whether or not I could be a freaking star director. Like I didn't go to director boot camp. So I can't, like, I've got to resign from being a star director. Like it was ridiculous, but I literally had this in my head that like I was, and I couldn't go to Star Summit and be the only star director that didn't go to boot camp. And for those of you that don't know, these are like things that when you promote to leadership, so when you promote to director, you're offered these opportunities to go, and they basically, at Scentsy, they basically train you. So I was like a total mess, like mentally. So let's see. To say I was hard on myself would probably be an understatement. But moral of the story, if you're feeling overwhelmed and underqualified, that's okay. I still feel that way every single day, but it'll all be worth it when that one person on your team, sorry, Justin's coming out of the bathroom. That one person on your team messages you or makes a post on Facebook saying that you changed their life. That is what this business has done for me. 100%. Take all the money away, take all of the incentive trips away. That is what this business has done for me. Let's see. Okay, so why is it important to be paid at title? Chelsea kind of went over this, but you obviously get bonuses, you get more commission. You are available on Scentsy.com. So if somebody just goes to Scentsy.com to place an order, if you are not paid at lead consultant or above, your name will not pop up, which is huge. I get orders from people going to Scentsy.com. I know a lot of people like think it's not a big deal, but I get orders that way. Like not always every month, but there's some months where I get hundreds of dollars worth of orders that way and actually gain loyal customers because I make sure that I spoil those people as well. Let's see. You also sometimes get more points towards incentives and things like that, just like Chelsea said before. So remember when I told you that I promoted to director and I was paid a title geez, I'm a mess. It's that beer. I was not paid a title for only 2 out of 15 months. When I promoted to star director, we struggled so hard at paid a title. I was only paid a title 4 times out of 15 months. And it was during like the winter season. So like the holiday season, like it was like impossible for me not to get paid a title then. I literally was not paid a title other than that, like hard, like it was hard. It was a hard hit for me, but it happened and I beat myself up for it. But finally I accepted the fact that I needed to rebuild my team and I needed to start identifying leaders. I stopped whining about it and I started just doing it. And since then, in 2020, we have so far been paid at title 4 out of 6 months. So it's obviously working. Like clearly it's working. The point being, we all struggle, every single one of us. But you know what the difference between me and the leader who just quit a couple months ago is? I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I just struggled for over a year. I struggled and it's okay. We all struggle. So maybe not all of us. Not Morgan. Morgan is just amazing. She really she just blows me away. Like she's just amazing. I just can't even I was like watching her like literally made me want to puke because I was like, oh my God, I have to follow this. But we all struggle in some way. At some point Morgan will struggle. I swear to God she will. I just know it. I know at some point she will. And you know what? It won't matter because she's a badass and she'll persevere. That's just all there is to it. Were there times that I wanted to give up? Oh my God, Chelsea. Yes, there have been plenty of times. I mean, ask Justin how many times I've said, I just want to quit. I just can't handle it. But I don't. Like, I just put on my big girl panties and just keep moving forward. And that's, I don't know, that's just all there is to it. Not every month will be easy. There's going to be crappy months. Not every sale will be easy. There's going to be crappy customers. Not every party will be successful. You're not doing anything wrong. We've all had unsuccessful parties. We've all had annoying customers. Own your struggles and move on. And the last thing I wanted to share, which I've gone honestly like back and forth about, but I'm going to share it because I think that it's important. So we don't usually share, like I share commission sometimes with my team, but I don't usually share it like with others. But I wanted to tell you guys the difference between 1 year and being paid a title and not being paid a title. I want you guys to know the number difference and how huge it is. So in May of 2019, now obviously my team size was different and all that as well, but commission wise, my commission was $1,103.73. In May of 2020, now again, we had our best month ever, but I'm just doing for comparison 1 year to the next. My commission was $4,311.35. That is the difference between working your business, putting on your big girl panties, and doing what you have to do to rebuild your team and getting paid a title. And if you're thinking this will never happen for me, and then that's like a ridiculous number, like it's just not going to happen for me. You are me 3 years ago. I 100% would look at Chelsea and be like, yeah, okay. Like my team of 3, like, yeah, all right. Change your mindset, because I promise you that this business could, if you wanted to, potentially change your life. And that's it. I'm done.
How in the world did you just say, how can I go after you 3? Like you literally just took us to church.
I don't know.
Again.
Because Morgan just has like 4 sticky notes and she just like,
No, I think like, and I want you guys to all understand that these girls were at one point so nervous to do stuff like this. So
oh my God,
know that we all, every single one of us, Morgan included, we all struggle. We all struggle. But like Kelly said, the difference between somebody who gave up and us is we didn't give up. That's the difference. And that's the difference with you guys. You guys are in a group that is filled with so much information. We feed into you guys so much. Every single one of your leaders feeds into you. We don't leave you hanging. And if someone does, reach out to us and we'll help you. But we're not going to handhold. That is the difference in our business. Like we've all said, it all starts with you. If you want to grow in this business, you have to make the moves. It's all about moving, showing up every single day, even on the days when you don't want to. You still need to show up. You got to work it like a business. You want people to treat it like a business, you got to treat it like a business. And the fact that Kelly brought up that we all had bad parties, my very first launch party was a total bust. Nobody bought. But guess what? Last month, a girl that came to that party joined because she saw the journey. She saw me sharing consistently every single day, and she finally joined. So she came to my very first launch party. She saw how much of a terrible party that was. 8 years later, almost 8 years later, she joins. So it may not happen right away with people. It can happen almost 8 years after. But don't stop showing up for your people. Don't stop showing up for you. At the end of the day, this is a business. You show up every single day. You log in. There are trainings actually for brand new sponsors. If you guys have sponsored people, there are trainings in the training center for brand new sponsors. Go watch them. I'm not going to do it for you. You go watch them. They're very, very, very amazing trainings. They've revamped them and they're great. So go watch them. And I forget which leader said this, but and it's probably all 3 of them. You have to put in the work. We're not going to do this for you because we have our own businesses to run. You put in your own social security number. You show up every day and log into your workstation and do the things. You put in the work and eventually everything's going to fall into place. But just because you promote and just because you get recruits does not mean that you should stop working. Do not rely on the 3 active frontline or the 2 active frontline or the 1 active frontline that you need to get paid at title. Don't rely on that because somebody in your team could have a bad month and because they don't go active, you don't get paid at title. Do not rely on anybody in this business except for yourself. You should never rely on your active frontline, on your 3 active frontline. Don't do the minimum, do more. In this business, always do more. And you'll never have to worry. If you focus on you only need 500 or you only need 1,000 GWV for your group wholesale volume to get lead, and you only need 1 active frontline. To me, that's you doing the bare minimum. I don't do minimum. I do more. I want more. Because again, like Morgan said, I'm not going to ask my team to do something that I'm not doing. So if I say to one of our leaders, and I say, hey, let's do 3,000 PRV. I know that may seem like a lot to a lot of you, but it's really not if you keep showing up every day and you treat your people like they're people and you run it like a business and you do more. You don't focus on the 500. You focus on that 3,000. That's doing more. That's doing hard things. That's showing up. That's expanding your customer base. That's getting out and talking to people. So I love everything that they all said. That's exactly why all of them did this training. So I'm super thankful for them for doing this. And if anybody has, hold on, coming from somebody terrified being a leader, all you see, we're over here being your cheerleaders. That's what we are. But next week we have Q&A with all of us. Or if there's certain topics that you guys want, just ask the questions in the chat or whatever. But we will show up and we will answer any questions that you guys have. But I think that we're going to call this one a night. And I know we went over our hour for a little bit, and that's fine. That's fine, because this is what's going to get you guys to grow. This is what you guys showing up shows us that you want to take this seriously. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Don't forget, Marvel and Perry launch tomorrow between 12:30 and 1 Eastern Standard Time. And then you guys can figure out your own time zones, because that's the only one I know. But have a great night. And this will get uploaded onto YouTube, and then it'll get uploaded onto all of the team pages, all the things in your emails, whatever. So have a great night, and I hope you guys kick ass this week. So have a great night, guys. Bye.